What would have made my day if I looked down and saw Gregor dancing to that?
Gregor's like, oh man, Gregor.
Are we on camera? Are we on camera at halftime?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah. Until the night when everything goes.
Sion McFarland. That's what their notes say. God, I guess I gotta trust them. Grassi. Oh, that's good. That's the right formation. Oh, okay, yeah. No. So put swap Granito. Yeah, sorry. This is relatively way off. All right, so where 44 is should be 19. Yeah, there's a bunch of swaps. Okay. Where 18 is should be 23. Where 77 is should be 44. Where 19 is underneath, in the middle, should be 77 or 42. Which one? Doesn't matter. 77 or 42. And then where 23 is, so next to him, so the line of two should be 77 and 42 on either side. They'll interchange. No. Yeah, so where the left back on the bottom four should be 32. No, because 18 needs to be in the middle. 45 needs to be on the right. Do you know left and right with Akugo?
Yeah, Batista will be left.
So 98 also should be on the second from the left. So if the two, it should go 32, 98, 18, 45. And 45, his first name, I believe, is Harold instead of ELD, I think.
Sorry, Tone. I just assumed that the home one was there. I should have put that down.
Yeah.
It says Harold.
Oh. Good morning from Portland, Oregon. A beautiful day in the Rose City for a rare 11 a.m. start as Portland Timbers 2 welcomes Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC to Providence Park. Jake Simmons alongside Ross Smith here with you. It's Providence Health and Fitness Day. Thousands of local students here at the match, hence the early start. And it's an important match for a T2 team that has started the season 1-7. It's not about results with them, it's about development, but still results are important. What are their objectives today?
I look at them in three areas. The first team minutes, there's going to be some regular Caleb Porter players in the side tonight to get minutes, to get a bit of fitness. The second, as you mentioned, developing the young players to make sure that they're up and coming and at some point being available for Caleb Porter in the first team. And finally, results, and I put it on the third tier because that's where it ranks, but there's something about getting 3 points where you go in the locker room afterwards, you're with your teammates, there's something that feels good about it.
In speaking to T2 head coach Andrew Greger, he was overwhelmingly positive about the beginning of the season for his team, specifically because of their passing. They're playing the way he wants amongst the league leaders in possession and passing.
It's very important that the style reflects what Caleb Porter and the first team is all about, and you can see from the numbers, they get the ball on the deck, they get the ball on the ground. This player, very similar to a Liam Ridgewell, a left-sided center back who can play and who wants to play. Batista, he's very confident, he's got the ideal profile for a center back. He's good over ground, he's got a good height. As you can see, the one little area you can see could clean up a bit. He's maybe a bit too casual at times on the ball, but if he gets that out of this game, you can bet he's going to be of interest to Caleb Porter moving on.
Colorado Springs comes in off a 3-0 win over Tulsa. Masta Kasher, the star in that game, a brace. He's on USL Team of the Week.
And he started his switchback career very nicely. He comes across from FC Montreal. He's got 4 goals so far this season. All of those goals come off his right peg. This is a player who's going to play wide left in a front three. He's got Aaron King beside him and Sean Malcolm on the opposite side. This is a front three that really like to push on. They really like to put the back four of the opposition under all kinds of pressure. He's had a very good start. You can bet he's going to be overflowing with confidence right now, given he's scored 4 goals already.
Kasher in the starting 11 for Colorado Springs today, who enter this match tied for 3rd in the West. We'll have the starting lineups and the kickoff between Timbers 2 and Colorado Springs Switchbacks when we come back.
We've raised the stakes. Expectations are high. Our biggest season yet will break records with elite players and future stars. Innovative technology and new homes. We're growing the game in our communities and across the nation. Are you ready?
Welcome back to Portland. It really is a gorgeous morning for soccer. Couldn't ask for better conditions for an 11 a.m. start between Portland Timbers 2 and Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC. Counting down to kickoff, Jake Sivan alongside Ross Smith at Providence Park. Here's the starting lineup for T2. A couple first-teamers in with the team today.
Yeah, there's 4 in there. Marco Farfan, who has had minutes at the first-team level, has done very well. He'll sit in that left-back position in the back four. Amobi Akugo, as well, has been getting minutes, important minutes for Caleb Porter's side. You go forward in the Jack Barnby, playing in that number 10 role. Very vital for him today to link up play between the midfield going forward. Victor Arboleda had a nice debut for the Timbers at the MLS level at the weekend against San Jose. Almost got a goal, created a chance, big day for him.
Starting 11 for Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC and their head coach Steve Tritchu. As you see Lamar Batista getting ready. We are actually underway here. We will get you Colorado Springs' starting 11 as we begin play between T2 and Switchbacks FC on a Wednesday morning, 11 a.m. start. Again, it's Providence Health and Fitness Day here at Providence Parks. We've got thousands of Portland area students in attendance. A nice treat for them on a school day to be able to come out and watch this match as Victor Arboleda earns a free kick for T2. We'll go over Colorado Springs' starting lineup. Moise Pawati in goal. It's a 4-3-3. Josh Suggs, the left back. Josh Phillips, Sion McFarland, the center backs. Jordan Burt, the right back, as Augustine Williams comes forward. Oh, does very well to keep it in play. Sent it across, but nobody was there. McFarland was trying to see it out. It was tricky from Williams. T2 couldn't take advantage.
Nice bright start for T2, just as Williams doesn't refuse to let that ball go out. He continues to chase it down. He's just trying to slip it across the face of goal. He's missing a mark, I think, for him. They want to pick his head up. He had time to be able to see another runner coming in, but it's a good start.
It's a T2 team that has struggled to score at times. Augustine Williams, their co-leading scorer with 5.
They just run the nearest to us, Jake, is that matchup between Arboleda and Burt, the right back for the Switchbacks. Arboleda will have him for pace, but it's a question, can the ball get out to him early? Can Arboleda stay as wide as possible so he gets that opportunity to run at the right back?
Well, and as we know from watching him at T2, and as I think maybe some MLS fans found out on Saturday night in San Jose, Victor Arboleda is going to have pretty much anybody for pace.
Pace to burn.
Yeah.
You could see him growing in confidence in that match as well. It was, look, again, nothing to lose. So I imagine the instruction from Caleb Porter to Arboleda was, go and enjoy yourself. Go and express yourself. The game is lost now. It's going to be a magical feat to get 3 points. But go and enjoy yourself and show me what you're about. And he did it.
Marco Farfan, now Augustine Williams. Granito under pressure from Ricardo Perez. Got it to Farfan. Farfan. Barnby, can Arboleda get there? Pawati did well to jump on it.
That he did, the goalkeeper for the Switchbacks. Thought it was a loose touch from Barnby and no chance for Arboleda, but he just gives you a little insight of how quick he can get across ground. It's a good start from T2. It all started from a heavy challenge from Mohammed, who's playing on the wide right, came in, that set the tone.
Now Colorado Springs. It's easy for Wade Hamilton from Cashier. The rest of Colorado Springs is starting 11, just to go through it and mention the back line. In the midfield, it'll be Eddie Prue on the left, Ronnie Argueta in the middle, Ricardo Perez, a Colorado Rapids homegrown, on the right, Masta Cashier on the left in the attack, Aaron King in the middle, and Shane Malcolm on the right. There is Malcolm. Williams coming over. Farfan steps in, gets it to Barnby. Mohammed wants it. Mohammed a chance. Saved by Pawati. Well, a bright start for T2, but they're unable to get it past Moise Pawati.
A bright start from Pawati. That's twice now. The netminder for the Switchbacks has to be alert. It's had to come off his line. But this is the reason Jack Barnby is in that number 10 position. Just keeps nice and central, gets on the turn, and he sees the run from Mohammed, who times it so well. You can see he's in the space, and if it weren't for a great save from the Switchbacks keeper, that would be 1-0.
Jack Barnby making his second appearance with T2. He's played 5 times for the Timbers' first team off the bench this year. We'll start in the number 10 role. Pawati sends it forward, and the offside flag was up.
What's amazing for Jack Barnby is all the experience he has, but such a young age. Still, and you look at him, and if you just took away his resume, his background, well, he would fit in with this age of players on it, but he's got the experience from playing across in Britain that you expect him to have a big match. You expect him to be a veteran head today.
Joined Portland Timbers last season on loan from Leicester City, was then signed outright by the Timbers in this last offseason. His dad, Nick Barnby, a longtime Premier League player, English national team player. Here's Barnby.
You can see the Switchbacks, they go back into a 4-4-2 defensively. When they get forward, it turns into a 4-3-3 where the wide men will look to push forward as much as possible. They've got their 2 blocks of 4, just as the back line, Phillips is trying to keep them as high as possible.
Batista into the corner. Hansen, with all of his speed, still can't get there. Harold Hansen, 17-year-old right back, now making his third start. He's provided a little bit of a spark his past few matches when he's in there. Not afraid to go forward.
No, youngster, he's raw, but he's exciting, and he's got plenty going forward. Defensively, he's willing to put in a job. And I tell you what, I was at the training yesterday, and I'm standing beside first-team coach Caleb Porter, and Hansen has come up just to say hello, shook our hands, and I felt as though my hand was going to crumble underneath his handshake. And when he walked away, Caleb Porter turned to me and he said, "Did you feel that?" Caleb Porter just shaking out his hand. He's got tremendous strength, the youngster.
Well, what skill from Andre Lewis in the midfield. It's taken away by Colorado Springs, sent forward for Malcolm. Farfan defends, early ball from Malcolm. Batista sweeps it clear. Not out of danger yet. Malcolm poked away by Farfan. And Williams did well to keep it in play. Farfan tried to send it forward. It's off of Malcolm.
I tell you, I like the movement of Williams early on, him and Barmby. And just when Williams was coming short to that ball, he played it and he spun off. But it was Barmby just running into the channel, willing to try and stretch that back four.
Malcolm. Oh, Ronnie Argueta. Suggs from distance almost snuck through. Perez was making a run. It's off of Kugo, and it's the first corner of the match.
And it needed the touch from Akugo because, as you said, Perez was just sneaking in behind them. Akugo wasn't to know, but he knew it was a dangerous enough ball that he had to do something about it. Suggs just on the ball here, taking the corner kick. I like him. Good technique, good experience for this side. He likes to get forward. He's got great ability in the service, as we'll see.
To the back post, came off Argueta, and T2 can break Barmby. Great ball into space. Arboleda will be one-on-one. Still Arboleda. Gets around Prue, goes down, and Baldomero Toledo, the referee, calls a corner from one end to the other. And T2 will have their first corner of the match.
We have to say Prue, he has shown himself the pace to be able to get back and recover, because this is a terrific ball from Barmby. He sets Arboleda out early, but you look at the recovery run from Prue. Gets straight back in. He makes sure that there's no chance Arboleda can get back in. Maybe a faint shot of a penalty, but it looked to me that Prue got a touch on the ball.
Eddie Prue, 27 years old, journeyman of sorts from Bozeman, Montana. Played the last 3 seasons in the Swedish 4th tier. Now signed with Colorado Springs this year. Barmby to serve, looking to the near post, and all that Colorado Springs can do is send it back out, but Baldomero Toledo was called a foul in the box against T2.
There's an air of energy about the T2, their start, they're lively early on, and it's interesting as we have a look at Jack Barmby. You and I chatted to head coach Andrew Greger yesterday, and we asked him, what's it like with the first team players coming in? He said, you know what, I like it, because they're so professional when they come in that it's all the youngsters, they raise their game, they raise the level, and they get a taste for what it is at that next step. He said, I wish I could have those first team players more.
He's got 4 of them today, with Akugo and Barmby, the 2 that are kind of making a spot appearance, you could say, with T2. Farfan and Arboleda, more T2 regulars.
Just as this ball drops, see Barmby's got his foot up. He's going for the ball there. He's getting just a little bit of a chat with the referee. Those are difficult ones because Barmby is referencing the ball. He is going in for it. The boots are high, but I think what else is he going to do about that?
See the referee, Baldomero Toledo. He's an MLS veteran referee. He's here today for this USL match because this is a VAR match, video assistant refereeing, as Colorado Springs sends it in. We'll talk more about that throughout this match, but VAR is in play in this match, so if a situation arises, it will be used. Here's Mohammed coming down the right. Step over, now finds Barmby. Oh, Barmby stepping into the box, sent across, easy for Puati.
Tell you, Andre Lewis has had a very bright start to this game. He's the one who sets the pass on for Mohammed. And then you look at the intention, just trying to get out the back for him and Barmby as they combine. Barmby, it's a nice heavy touch just to take him into an area. But again, the keeper does well.
There's Lewis. He started all 8 matches this season for T2. He's Now in his 9th start, he's one of just 2 players to have started all 9. The other one is Lamar Batista. There's Cashier on the left. Stepping inside of Hansen. Gets it to Perez. Granito came back. Was chopped down by Perez.
It's our first sight of Cashier so far in this match. You see, as soon as he got the ball, he just got the head down, and he was wanting to run at the young right back for the T2.
His 4 goals this season does Masta Cashier. There's Tomas Granito in his first year with T2, making his 6th start of the season. Last year with Swope Park, the USL affiliate of Sporting Kansas City. Farfan, does well to pick out Barmby. It was cut off by Arquette. Didn't quite make it through. Looked like it was going to get there. Composure from McFarland. Finds Cashier on the left. Perez. One-on-one with Hansen. Disrupted by T2. Lewis comes away with it. Barmby again looking into space for Williams, maybe Arboleda. McFarland comes over to win it.
Barmby's just having a word with Arboleda. You got to release earlier. Can't wait till you hit the ball because that's too late. You got to see I'm going to play it in that spot.
Akugo trying to spring Mohammed behind. Puati's off his line to collect. The USL is one of the most prominent second division professional leagues in the world, featuring some of the game's top talent and rising stars. Stay up to date with all the latest league news and information by visiting www.uslsoccer.com and follow them on Twitter @USL. We mentioned it earlier, this is Providence Health and Fitness Day, so thousands of Portland area students are here in attendance. There's a bunch of fitness activities going on in the concourse, one on pregame as well. It's an annual event here at Providence Park. A little bit of a different experience for the players. Both the earlier start, 11 a.m., and a different kind of environment when you've got thousands of elementary and middle school students in attendance than maybe you're used to at a pro soccer game. But it's been energetic to begin.
It's been a constant buzz, hasn't it? The crowd hasn't stopped. The kids, I think they're just happy on their day out, be able to watch some of their sprouting heroes on displays. Some of them perhaps enjoying the time away from the classroom, but you can see very much a lot of the attention is looking at what's the future for T2. And I just wondered after that result for the Timbers first team at the weekend against San Jose, how much does that help to galvanize these players today, knowing that perhaps positions are up for grabs? After you go and you get what you could call a hiding against the Earthquakes, players haven't done well for Caleb Porter. You just wonder, are positions up for grabs? Because you get the sense with some players now, they know that they want to show well because Caleb Porter is on hand to watch.
For Colorado Springs as well, it's a showcase of sorts in an MLS stadium. Steve Tritchu, the head coach, acknowledged that, saying that his guys know when they come in that it's a big opportunity here to show what they have. Here's Barmby, played it through. Mohammed trying to get there, he does. Puati on it, the follow is saved. Well, multiple times in the first 15 minutes of this match, Moise Puati has come up big, pouncing off his line. Still there maybe for T2. Didn't come off between Barmby and Arboleda.
Again, it's good from the Timbers. Just getting in behind the back line, but Phillips, the left-sided center-back, makes a real mess of this. As he goes in, he just misjudges the ball, and Mohammed, he pounces on it. Doesn't hesitate, and you can see he's just gambling as Phillips gets wrong-footed. He's reaching in the end, then he's slashing at it, whereas Mohammed gambles, but Puate, again, he's alert and he's out quick.
And he may
To his detriment.
Yeah, he's taking a look at his left hand. Had to do whatever he could just to get any part of his body in front of that ball. Moise Puate, 21-year-old from Cameroon, joined Colorado Springs before the season's, making his 5th start today. Has allowed 6 goals in his previous 4, a 1.5 goals against average. Called up to the Cameroon national team before the season began. Omar Mohamed, a couple times today, has gotten behind. Another young player, just 20 years old. Harold Hansen, just 17 years old. You can see the youth out on the field. He's from Ohio, was born in Somalia, Omar Mohamed. Moved to Ohio, was a member of the Columbus Crew Academy, and signed last year with FC Cincinnati after 1 season playing at Jackson College. After a season at FC Cincinnati, came west to join T2. Well, Puate's okay, and ball's back in play. Arqueta trying to combine with Malcolm. Farfan stepped in there, rather it was Perez combining. Now here's Burt. Cut out by Batista. Given back to Colorado Springs. Peru. Perez. Lewis comes back to take it away. Williams, Arboleda, Lewis making a run forward. Arboleda finds him. Barmby there. And he was cut off. Phillips did a nice job of getting in the way.
But again, it starts with Lewis. Gets the ball back for T2 and then makes a nice simple pass, but it's his run that he continues going forward. Just giving the T2 options, players options as they're looking to break down the switchbacks. But you look all over the pitch right now, and I'm looking at it with T2, and not to be on the side of being negative, but there's not one player who isn't up at a great standard right now. Every single player on T2 right now is up to it. You just get the sense that they're at it, as you talk about, that they want to be as expressive as possible.
Yeah, it's been a bright start for T2. And again, I was struck talking to Andrew Greger yesterday how positive he has been about the beginning of this season. Obviously, the results haven't come for T2, but he's liked the way they played. And ultimately, you know, we say it, and it might be a cliche, but it is about development for this group. Here's Suggs serving it into the box. Oh, it almost got over the head of Farfan. He ended up reading it well in the end.
Well, I liked what Andrew Greger said about Hansen, the right back for T2, Harold Hansen, when he said about him conceding the penalty against Seattle S2 last week, and he said, that's a victory. That's a little victory right there, because it's a moment that I can go in and have that coaching chat with them to more or less say, well, that wasn't right, but make sure you don't do it again. But those are moments that you need. And so I really liked how he used the word victory for it. It's one thing, though, having that moment to never do it again. It's another thing if you go and you cause a penalty again, if you're a little bit lax on your feet again to cause it. You need to learn from him.
He said essentially that he'd rather that happen with Harold Hansen at 17 years old for T2 than for Harold Hansen at an older age on the first team.
Yep.
You want to get those out of the way here. That's the point. Barmby under pressure gets it to Arboleda. Granito. Mohamed brought down. Free kick coming for T2. No, he was offside. Well, he came back from an offside position. Jack Barmby doesn't agree with the decision, but it will be a restart for Colorado Springs.
Just see the linesman, good position. It's a good angle there. Just slightly offside, coming from an offside position.
Batista steps up to win the header. Lewis, he's been all over the place. First 20 minutes. Tried to get it through to Arboleda. He gets it back.
say it's the sharpest and quickest I've seen from Andre Lewis. Just over ground, he's got an extra step.
Mohamed to Barmby. Barmby was offside. The flag was up as Mohamed sends it into the stands. Going back to Andre Lewis, kid with great pedigree. He was the 7th overall pick of the 2014 MLS Super Draft by Vancouver. Spent that first season on loan with Charleston. He tore his ACL in the middle of his first season. And then after 2 years in Vancouver, came here to T2, where he's now in his 2nd season with Timbers 2. Jamaican Youth International, still just 22 years old. Cashier, after a brace last week, hasn't been involved much this week. Taken away by Mohamed, has to pull him down. A decision for Baldomero Toledo, and it looks like it will be the first yellow card of the match.
Yeah, it was quite obviously a yellow card, a booking for Cashier, who's been frustrated early on. Conceded possession and then blatantly pulled back Mohamed. Just as Cashier gets on the ball, he's just trying to cut inside, but Mohamed, he gets it so quite clearly, you can see the foul. Cashier just trying to plead his case, saying that was his first foul, but it was more the situation that Mohamed was turning down, going in transition at the back four.
Batista carried that all the way out into touch.
So those for me are moments where Batista, he needs to connect. He needs to take a touch and then play either the front man or see midfielder run in the opposite side of the opposition's midfield.
This is just his 9th career professional match. He played 1 season at UC Santa Barbara before signing with T2 in the offseason. He's still just 18 years old. He's 6'5", 165. Another guy that Andrew Greger was really positive about the way he's progressed in just 8 matches from day 1 when he got here to where he's at now, starting his 9th match. Malcolm, Burt on the right. Malcolm sends it himself into the box. It hangs up into the air. Granito, well done. Define Williams as an outlet. Arboleda streaking down the middle. Williams tries to curl it to the back post. It's wide of the net.
Quite clear to see his disappointment, as he did well just to get himself on the edge of the area. But just when he gets there at the last second, becomes off balance, but it's a nice direct run. See, he squares up to the defender, trying to go outside, but needs to end up shifting it. Fortunate touch for him, that falls to his feet, but just couldn't get the shape right.
Soccer fans, Nike is an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, visit NikeSoccer.com. Oh, Moise Puati, a little juke on Jack Barmby. Confident with his feet. Was a striker growing up. Didn't switch to becoming a goalkeeper till about the age of 14 or 15. Burt trying to find Cashier. Not enough on it. Hansen cut it off. Now Hansen is dispossessed by Cashier. Still Cashier. Battling with the young right back. Suggs into the area, over the head of Farfan. It's Malcolm trying to get around Arboleda. He does. Arboleda still there. Malcolm as well. Finally, Arboleda wins the battle, gets it clear. Barmby. Back to Farfan, who's still under pressure. Dispossessed by Perez, and then shoved down, it appeared, by Farfan. No call. I think Marco Farfan thought he was going to get whistled for a foul as well.
It looked like a foul.
Is that right with that?
Did get himself out of it, though, after Barmby showed some nice hold-up play. Barmby didn't have a lot of options. He had to go back to Farfan, who was just a little bit lax in his play.
Argueta, King trying to combine with Malcolm. Farfan gets it to midfield. Cashier making a run down the left. Suggs couldn't get it to him. Second try, he will. It's too far, though. Augustine Williams. It's calmed down a bit after a pretty energetic start, especially from T2.
Has the last few minutes.
Here's Williams turning, poked away from behind. Now Malcolm. Argueta. Cashier. Suggs. Again to the back post. Nobody there for Colorado Springs. Malcolm collects.
It was good possession by the Switchbacks without really going anywhere, without breaking down T2. As they hold strong defensively, they're shifting nicely.
Farfan wins the one-on-one battle. Batista to Williams at midfield.
And that right there is a good ball. Nice clearance from Batista. He allows time with his ball for the striker Williams to get himself across. And now you look, good hold-up play, and T2 are out.
T2 did well to break the pressure there. And then Arboleda, I think looking for Barmby, who wasn't really ready for it. And McFarland was able to win it for Colorado Springs. Here come the Switchbacks. Ricardo Perez. Big switch over the head of Cashier. He's able to keep it in play. And he finds Eddie Prue. Back to Cashier. Broken up by Akugo. Muhammad composed to get away from Prue. That's off of Mohammed.
Well, Switchbacks, they seem set on getting out to that wide left area, out to Cashier, just to see what he can do, either 1v1 or an overlapping fullback coming in to join in.
King. Back to Prue. Argueta switches it to Malcolm. Down to Burt, but it's Arboleda running onto it. Has Williams in the middle. Barmby's on the right. A heavy touch from Williams. And it'll end up with Pawati in the end.
Big chance. If he could have got that first touch right, you would have seen a streaking Barmby on the far side.
Malcolm. Farfan slides in, concedes the throw.
Just these last couple minutes, he talked about the air coming out of the T2 play, a little bit defensively. I'm just watching the holding center midfielders, Lewis and Granado, just look a little heavy legged. Looked as though they could do with this 20, 30 seconds to try and catch their air, because they're just not shifting as quickly across to help out the fullbacks as they were before.
Josh Suggs will take this corner. Floats it into the area. Hamilton, an awkward punch and a foul called. Not much to do so far today for Wade Hamilton. 30 minutes in. Making his third start of the season for T2. Was signed to the Timbers first team last year. And then this year in the offseason, signed to T2. Started their only win of the year, 2-0 over Sacramento on the road. His other start was that San Antonio match a couple weeks ago. That ended 4-0.
We chatted to head coach Andrew Greger about that win, and a big difference he pointed towards was the presence of first team regulars Eric Valentine, who's available off the bench today. We expect to see. But again, you go back to that presence, and he said just the whole attitude of Valentine when he came into the team. He was getting around the guys. He was making sure that everyone was together, that there weren't any little clicks here or there, that he was very much sending the right message all the time. And then when he stepped on the pitch, good game. Didn't say it wasn't exceptional, but what he did was he showed how you can have a nice solid game, you be safe, you organize, you communicate, how there's so many different things outside of your own game that you can add to the team.
It's not always the case as well when players come down for a game here or two to stay sharp, to get fitness at the USL level. That attitude isn't always right, I think it's fair to say, but Andrew Greger said that this year it's been phenomenal.
That's just it. You can hang the bottom lip as a first-team player if you come down and you think, well, I'm not getting a first-team start. I'm being put down here for minutes, hopefully impress. And you're exactly right. The attitude can be way off, but you've seen that players come and say, Andrew Greger, that they've shown the right attitude, and that goes a long way for the player, but also the coaching staff accepting those players coming in.
Arboleda from left to right, dealing with Suggs, did well to keep it in play. Touch around Suggs. And a foul call on Josh Suggs, so it'll be a set piece opportunity for T2.
Just get the sense from Arboleda when he sets out before match, he thinks, I am going to cover every inch of turf on this pitch, whether it be grass. I want to make sure that my heels touch every part of it. We've seen that today. He's a willing runner to everything.
He can probably accomplish that in a much quicker time than most as well. One of the fastest guys on this team, Victor Arboleda. And he earns a pretty dangerous set piece for T2. It'll be Jack Barmby over the ball. Barmby curling near post. Headed out for a corner. Ricardo Perez.
He just wants to miss that first man. You got some big bodies in there.
Again to the near post. This time, once again, didn't get over the first man. It's Perez once again. Hansen, Williams trying to get it to Barmby. Muhammad loose touch.
I think you just want to see that relationship come back again between Muhammad, Williams, Jack Barmby. Just how they were playing in the opening 20-25 minutes was so good, and it was causing problems for the Switchbacks. It's just gone away from that in the last 10 minutes or so.
It's tough mentally. You start with a lot of energy, put a lot out there, get good chances. Can't find the back of the net, and then the game kind of lulls like this.
That's where you need the experienced heads. You need the players to have confidence to continue going at it, because you want your goal as a reward.
Here's Farfan all the way to the byline. That was last touched by Augustine Williams. It'll be a goal kick.
And to also understand that because of this man, Puate, who's had a very good opening half hour, 34 minutes, the reason why T2 on out in front. But you see Farfan just driving back, continuing to push the fullback into the area, and that's very dangerous living from the right back, because you don't want to get sucked into your box where then you're having to make a decision whether to make a challenge or not.
Moise Puate has put his body on the line multiple times this first half. This time looks like his left shoulder. He's all right. He's going to stay on. There's Marco Farfan, 18-year-old.
It's one part of Farfan's play that I really enjoy watching is how direct he is. Just gets on the ball and he drives at the back foot of defenders, looking to commit them. He can either shift inside and combine, but he can go outside as well.
Flying over Williams goes McFarland. Both players down.
I think Williams is quite honestly referencing the ball here. He's just going in. He's waiting to field the defender. Just as he bends over, he provides the platform for the defender, McFarland, to go over. You see Williams is trying to argue. He's got an arm coming through him. I find these ones quite difficult. And they tend to go towards the defender's way. But Williams, he's trying to back in. He's trying to bring the ball down and provide hold-up play. Whereas McFarland, he's jumping in almost to Williams as he's given a reenactment with the referee just now. But for me, it's 6 one way, half a dozen the other. It's very difficult to call a foul, but the referees always seem to give the defenders the benefit of the doubt.
Upcoming matches for T2, they hit the road in a couple weeks. They've got 2 weeks in between games. And then to the Heartland for road trip OKC Energy and Tulsa Roughnecks. And then back at Providence Park, June 4th against Whitecaps FC 2. Burt coming into space, gets it to King. Farfan there to poke it away. Still with King. Nifty footwork, but couldn't keep it in play.
Well, it was such a good ball from Phillips. Out wide, and Arboleda switched off from his defensive duties. Almost got punished for it.
Fans, stay up to date on the latest USL news and information from around the league. Tune in to USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts, Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern Time on SiriusXM FC, Channel 85. Also, don't forget, SiriusXM FC will air the USL Game of the Week. Please check USLsoccer.com for dates and times. Akugo dispossessed in the midfield. Cashier trying to get behind. Hansen gets there first. He's trying to shield that to go out. I don't know if it's going to make it to the end line. It does not.
Needs a gust of wind to help him out.
And he draws a foul in the end.
Just see as the switchbacks sit off in their defensive posture now. It's more of a 5 across midfield that they've been going into just to make it more difficult for T2. They were a 4-4-2 previous to this, but now you've got all those bodies in that midfield just trying to disrupt the Timbers from playing.
Burt into space, looking for Perez. Batista comes over, sends it out for a throw. Jordan Burt. Blocked by Lewis. Another throw coming. Here comes T2. Williams. Lewis on the left. Tried to get it back to Williams. It was right to Phillips. Now here comes Switchbacks. Burt sent into the box, almost picked out King. It's over his head. Hansen concedes the throw.
That was a good spot by Burt because he saw that King was just peeling off the shoulder of Akugo. He's just slightly overhit it.
Nice build up from Colorado Springs. Malcolm Argueta gets it to Cashier. Play on, says Toledo. Advantage for Colorado Springs. Cashier looking near post. It was wide of the net. And it looks like Toledo is going to give a yellow card to Andre Lewis. So foul was acknowledged by Toledo. He played advantage for Colorado Springs, and then once there was a stoppage in play, came back to give the yellow card to Andre Lewis. First yellow to a T2 player today, second of the match. Mastek Asher also in the book. Mohammed brought down. Suggs whistled for the foul. And he gets a little chat from Baldomero Toledo. And a yellow card. So Josh Suggs now into the book. A minute after Lewis goes in.
Just looking at the foul again. Not a whole lot in it, but I think the referee now is just trying to stamp his authority on the game. He's allowed play to go on for a while. Booking's coming out now just to show his control.
Granito, Mohammed. Mohammed was offside.
There's been some very close decisions for the linesman on the far side. As we've seen a few times now, T2 players coming from an offside position into midfield to get onto the ball, and the linesman's flagged.
Lewis into space, trying to spring Arboleda, maybe Barmby. Burt did well to head it back to his keeper. Lewis, Malcolm, Williams, does well to hold off Peru. Right side, Mohammed. Cuts inside. Arboleda curling it. Easy for Puati in the end. Had to go down to his left.
Well, Puati was already moving. He could see what Arboleda was going to do as he was shaping up. Puati has already started shifting across to that side, but this all comes about from the hold-up play from Williams. Great hold-up play by the target man. Finishes off as quite an easy save for Puati.
Arqueta. Malcolm gets around Farfan. Malcolm wins a corner.
It's good recovery from Farfan. He bit on the initial intended cross, and that was enough to allow McFarland to just go past him, but he ended up recouping the space. Farfan did.
Perez over the corner. Floats it into the area. Again, danger in the box. It falls in the area off the post, and it's swept clear. Still not out of it yet. Perez. Cut out by Lewis. T2 will try to break. 1 minute of stoppage time as it's out for a throw. Well, it's twice that Colorado Springs has troubled Wade Hamilton on a corner. This time a foul not called, and very nearly the opening goal of the match.
We can see they're getting bodies in the pathway of Hamilton, making it difficult for him to come out. There's no foul there. Hamilton, he just can't fight through all the bodies, and he misses the punch, and very close for the Switchbacks.
It was Josh Phillips putting it off the bar. Farfan. Lewis. Granito. Arboleda turns. Barmby wants it on his left. Tries it from distance. It's over the bar.
Ends up being a good step by Suggs. As soon as the ball goes into Barmby, Suggs, he comes out and he just affects what Barmby can do with the ball. You see there, he's forcing him to his favorite left peg, but Barmby can't quite get the ball out of his feet enough to get the power behind it.
Well, that's it for the first half. It was a bright start for Victor Arboleda and T2. Luis Pawati, the Colorado Springs keeper, the star of the first 30 minutes of this match. Late in the first half, Josh Phillips off the bar for the Switchbacks, but we're scoreless after 45. Highlights coming up. T2, Switchbacks FC, 0-0 at the break.
Here is my handle and here is my spout.
When I get all steamed up, then I shout.
Tip me over and pour me out. Oh.
It only takes a moment to make a moment.
Cheers. Pinkies.
Take time to be a dad today.
Here's your check.
Oh, you got it. You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. God, no.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early. You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
We've raised the stakes. Expectations are high. Our biggest season yet will break records with elite players and future stars. Innovative technology and new homes. We're growing the game in our communities and across the nation. Are you ready?
We built the USL into the largest Division II professional soccer league in the world. And now the time has come to announce USL Division III, America's professional third division league, completing the U.S. pro soccer landscape. It's time for your town, your team, your game. D3 will fuel local pride and local passion, creating a new legacy for the beautiful game and inspiring its tribal following across the country. This is professional soccer, built on a disciplined financial model and operational excellence, featuring exciting venues to thrill fans, in hungry new markets yearning for the game. USL Division III, professional, passionate, proven. Pro soccer starts here, coming in 2019. For more information, visit usld3.com.
It's now time for the USL Fans' Choice Goal of the Week. Here are a few nominees. Pittsburgh's Victor Soto, his first professional goal landed on SportsCenter's top 10 at number 2 as the Riverhounds beat Toronto. Dane Kelly leading Reno to their first ever win over Phoenix. And Carlton Belmar, former member of T2, his 4th goal of the year for Swope Park Rangers, beating Vancouver. Log on to USLsoccer.com to vote for the Fans' Choice Goal of the Week. Park, a gorgeous morning. Now it's afternoon, I suppose, here in the Rose City, but a beautiful day for Portland Timbers 2 and Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC. USL Soccer, Jake Ziven alongside Ross Smith. First half that started really bright for T2. They were getting behind, looked like they were going to get a goal. They didn't, and the game kind of settled down from there.
Yeah, I thought first 25 minutes, every player to a man was very good for T2, but then the enthusiasm started to wane a little bit. It dipped. The concentration levels just went away for them at times. They weren't as threatening going forward, but big reason for that is the goalkeeper for the Switchbacks had a very good first 25, 30 minutes, but overall, if the Timbers can lift their levels again, I think they can go ahead in this.
Let's take a look at the highlights from the first half. Again, really bright start for T2, 4th minute, close to opening the score.
Well, it was nice, the combination play going forward, and Barmy just sitting in that number 10 position, in that nice little pocket. He needs the run of Mohammed coming off from a wide area, and the timing is just right. There's enough weight on the ball, but again, it's the goalkeeper, Puate, who comes out, gets a nice, strong right arm to it.
Jack Barmby, Timbers' first team member, starting at the number 10 role. He was really active in the first half, chance here in the 10th minute.
Well, he was always an option for players, and you can see he's just always available, getting around. He had a nice bit of zest in his legs, a bit of juice in the legs, just making sure that he can create some dangerous chances, and he was doing that in the opening 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah, it kept going for T2 as they kept prodding, trying to break through the Colorado Springs back line. An error in the back almost resulted in the opener.
Well, you can see just where T2 were dangerous is that ball coming in, and then Barmby being able to slip those passes in with the runs coming from wide areas, just trying to break the seams, knock it on the door, but couldn't find their way in.
Not much threatening from Colorado Springs until the 45th minute, the closest either team came to scoring. Josh Phillips off the crossbar on the corner and then somehow kept out.
Hamilton, he makes a mess of this. He just can't get through the bodies. He tries to fight through them instead of going around, and it's unlucky for the Switchbacks not to score.
First half stats. T2, 6 shots, 3 for Colorado Springs. They also controlled time of possession. That passing accuracy, we mentioned it off the beginning of this broadcast. It's something that Andrew Greger, T2's head coach, has really been pleased with this season. That's right in line where they've been, 79% this season, tied for 3rd in the entire league this year, and they kept that up in the first half. They'll certainly be pleased with that as we get ready for the second half kickoff between Portland Timbers 2 and Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC. A substitution to tell you about. Zarek Valentin will come on at right back, and Harold Hansen comes off. Valentin making his 3rd appearance for T2, also started against Vancouver and Sacramento, captained the team to their lone win this season on the road at Sacramento. And we might be delayed a little bit. I believe that's Tomas Granito, who is doing some late equipment changes out at midfield. Don't see that very often. Colorado also has made a sub at halftime. Kevon Frater coming on for Aaron King. Everybody being patient, letting Granito get himself ready for the second half. Granito, a holding midfielder, 23 years old. Last year with Swope Park Rangers. Former El Salvador Youth International, played in the Under-20 World Cup in 2013. Appears to be set. And we are now underway after a slight delay. second half between T2 and Colorado Springs.
It'll be important for Zarek Valentin to get up to speed as quick as possible. I thought Hansen had a very good first half. Up to the point Cashier had to change what he was thinking about. He had to change his options when he was getting on the ball because he knew Hansen was getting the better of him.
Different types of players, of course, Harold Hansen and Zarek Valentin. Colorado Springs sends it in, early chance for Frater just into the match, and he put his header right at Hamilton. Dangerous from Colorado Springs, just 30 seconds in.
And he feels as though he should have scored. It's a great ball in. Very difficult to defend. Frater just at the last second comes off the shoulder of Akugo. He's able to be first to the ball, but Hamilton in a good position. Just going back on Zarek Valentin, just wonder his mentality of this game, because you talk about the first team and them not having a good result against San Jose, and perhaps he's wondering, is this a chance for me where the back line has conceded 3 goals against San Jose Earthquakes at the weekend? Is this a chance perhaps for me to step in?
Frater, Malcolm on the right. Overlap from Burt into the belly of Hamilton, but Colorado Springs energized out of the locker room.
They've made the change, and Frater right away has made an impact coming in. Aaron King, we didn't see an awful lot of him from the experienced striker in the first half, but Frater right away is making an impression.
Kevon Frater, first season in Colorado Springs. He's on loan from Harborview in Jamaica. Played last year with Real Monarchs, also on loan from Harborview. Former teammates with Timbers defender Renico Clark at Harborview. Clark not in the 18 for T2 today, but has been a regular this season with T2.
Just seen a slight change, whether it's temporary or whether it will become permanent in the second half. Barnby was starting more on the right-hand side as he drifts more central now.
Lewis coming forward. He was active in the first half. No pressure from Colorado Springs.
Well, it's a high line right now from Colorado Springs. You almost just need a runner to go in behind. It's a great ball there from Barnby.
Picks out Farfan. Can't keep it in play.
That needs to be better from Farfan. It's a better standard than that. He does have a great first touch normally.
Frater dealing with Batista. Granito came back to take it away. Arboleda. Williams poked away from behind. It was Prue dispossessing Williams. Lewis got it back for T2. Barnby. Put it behind Valentin. Then put it behind Barnby. Ends up with Lewis in the end. Granito. Barnby.
Well, didn't quite come off for Barnby there, but you want to see more of him and Williams just getting involved there. Interchange play was so key to the Timbers breaking through.
Frater again trying to get behind. Batista won that battle. Arboleda turns on the Jets, tries to get past Burt, who got a touch in late and won it back for Colorado Springs.
That's where I wonder with players like Arboleda, why have you only pushed it 2 yards in front of you? You've got bags of pace. You've got all kinds of space in behind. Just knock it and go and see what the Switchbacks defense can do for keeping up.
Frater with time comes forward. Lewis takes it away. and then spins away in the midfield. Mohammed wants a foul, doesn't get it.
A few times now the ball's gone out to the fullbacks, whether it be Valentin or Farfan, and the first touch goes back towards the pitch. Just feel if they can open up and just lay one around the channel, just spin one in there, but you also need the runner to be on the same page, whether that's Barnby running in behind or Williams.
Barnby making a run in behind there. It was dealt with by Colorado Springs. Now it's Eddie Prue. Frater battling with Batista, and Batista called for a foul. Suggs. Granito fouled by Frater.
It's good from Granito. He needs to win those seconds. Just as that ball was traveling, you can see that he was trying to make up the space with his run. Just that ball is traveling. Granito is already getting on his bike to make sure he's getting around the seconds. It causes a foul, just a little clip.
Big switch from Granito looking for Arboleda, but it's well over his head.
Just looking down in the technical area, see the body language of head coach Andrew Gregor almost putting his arms to the side to say, what was that for? There was no need to waste the ball.
Frater again getting behind. Frater saved by Hamilton. He pushed it over the bar and kept it scoreless.
Fairly early into the second half, and Frater has made a big impression early on. You can see he gets the better of Batista here. He just outmuscles, outstrengths as he spins on him, and then he gets good strike on the goal. If it weren't for the strong hand of Hamilton, who's got good position, and he uses the strike of the ball well just to lift it up over the bar to send it out.
Suggs to take the corner, near post. Did it come off Okugo? It did. It's another corner.
Just go back to Batista there defensively. You just can't get done there. You can't get spun. You can't get out-strengthed by the opposition. You got to make sure that, if anything else, you show that striker wide.
Another corner from Suggs. This time headed clear by Lewis. Arboleda. And it's off of Colorado Springs. Williams trying to turn, and he is brought down.
What impresses me about Williams is that, yeah, he's willing to hold up play. He's willing to stand on the toes of the defender, but the way he can get out of it as well, he's agile enough, he's mobile enough that it's one thing just standing there on the defender and using other players to get the ball out of that space, but it's another one being able to sit there, and then your balance is such that you can jump out of it, and you can move, and you can take the ball into an area yourself. He's got that ability.
Okugo found Williams.
There's just no space in there. Yeah. No space at all between the midfield and the back line of the Switchbacks.
Prue looking for Cashier. That's another corner for Colorado Springs. The pressure continues from the Switchbacks. 5th corner kick of this match for Colorado Springs. Suggs again to take. Floats it into the area off the head of Phillips. Williams. T2 trying to take advantage on a counter. Barmby brought it down. Now Valentin. Mohammed wants it on the right. Instead, Valentin goes middle of the pitch towards Arboleda, but it's over his head, handled by Colorado Springs. Argueta comes away with it. Burt. Still Jordan Burt. Taken away by T2. Given right back. Prue. Perez. Burt looking for Frater. Kugo was there. Got it to Lewis. Farfan sends it into the stands. Well, T2 will make a substitution now. Their 2nd one of the match. And it'll be Villian Bijev coming on. Omar Mohammed coming off. So Villian Bijev making his 9th appearance of the year. This is the first game he didn't start for T2. 2 goals. Last year led the league in assists with 10. Ross, it's been tough for T2 in their spacing. We'll talk about that in a moment. We'll get more into that in a moment. I know you want to point out what's been difficult, lack of spacing for T2. Colorado Springs pushing forward. Josh Phillips. Cashier, Perez, still Perez. Colorado Springs wins it back. Masta Cashier. Kugo gets it cleared and draws a foul. Spacing for T2, what's been difficult?
Talked about T2 being in possession and the lack of space in between that midfield line and the back line of the switchbacks. You can see there's very little room. They're so connected. They're making sure it's congested as possible. So the ball into Williams is very difficult to play. And so that's where you talk about, can you open things up? Can the wide men just open up their bodies and lane one into the space in behind? But you need a willing runner. You need to turn that back forward, get them running back towards their own goal. Because then you start to see them have a bit of fear. Then they start to drop off that much more.
Farfan tried to get it to Arboleda. Burt recovered. Barmby brings it down. Sends it across, and Pawati is there. Nobody's there for T2. Big outlet from Pawati towards Frater. Couldn't handle it.
See Bijev, he comes in at that number 10 position, just him operating on either side of it, 5 yards either side of it, coming up, showing up, getting on the ball, getting on the half turn.
Here is Bijev. I tried to get it to Barmby, and it's taken away by Argueta. Cashier. Burt goes around Arboleda. Broken up by Lewis. It's out of play.
They've been the better team to start the second half. Colorado Springs showed a bit of maturity, bit of confidence and control to start the second half.
Barnby. Granito got it kind of caught in his feet. It's given back to Colorado Springs. Arqueta does very well to keep possession. Now through for Frater. It was broken up by Akugo. Falls to Malcolm. Perez. Malcolm gave it away. Frater was onside. The flag stayed down. Now it comes up as he finally brings it down. It was late from the assistant referee on the far side, but Frater whistled for being offside.
Fortunate for Hamilton because he was rooted to his line. So as soon as that ball was in the air, perhaps that was one for the keeper to come and claim. But just going on to that switchback side of things, Jake, Arqueta, I think he's been growing into this match. He's just been a fixture right in the center of the park, making sure that he's breaking things up and then he's able to give those forward passes for his teammates.
Valentine springs Williams through. It was a good initial touch, but Josh Suggs recovered. Now here is Arqueta. Eddie Prue. Malcolm with time. Lewis comes back. Arboleda comes back to poke it to Lewis. Now Bijev. Arboleda streaking down the left. Wins a throw.
That's more like it from the Timbers. What we were talking about, spacing, you can see Valentine opens up the hips, and he's just putting the ball into an area that Williams can get into. Now the center backs or the switchbacks have to come out of their area. There's spots that they don't want to go into. It's a good opportunity. It's the first time we've seen this second half, T2 being able to stretch the defense.
Akugo looking for Bijev. Oh, it's almost an own goal. It was well done by Puati. Burt trying to head it back to his keeper. And I think it was going to go wide anyway. Burt made it interesting for Puati. Keeping him alert. He hasn't had a ton to do in the second half.
I think it's one as a defender, you make sure you act as casual as possible afterwards to make it as though you meant to do it. We got a close-up on Burt, and he did look as though, yeah, it was all intended.
Everybody on the same page. Oh, it's a giveaway. Not on the same page there. Lewis. Williams under pressure, wins a foul.
He got away with one there, but for T2, that ball over the top, you see Burt just coming in. How much he knows of it, whether he's thinking, whether into the keeper's hand, whether out for a corner kick. In the end, it ends up in his favor.
All good for Colorado Springs. Now something to deal with. Jack Barnby over it.
Was a good distance here for Barnby. The likely of takers here between the two standing over the ball, but just see with Barnby, he's got a nice left foot there. Can he get the curler up and over the wall?
Barnby and Granito about 30 yards away from goal. It will be Barnby. Puati pushes it around the bar. He got it on frame, and Puati had it covered.
Puati wasn't happy with his wall, as though it moved. It shifted as Barnby was taking it, but it's bounced just in front of Puati, which is why this is a good save. Just at the last second it bounces, and that makes it difficult for the keeper, but he keeps his concentration.
Barnby to take the corner. Powati confident with the catch. Williams, that was clever. Putting it off of Suggs to win a throw. Valentine into Williams. Has Arboleda on the left. Farfan making an overlapping run. Farfan into the box. Powati gets a touch. Not clear yet. Barmby brings it down. Barmby to the byline. He wants it on the left foot. Barmby across. Headed clear. Only as far as Valentine. Arboleda. Farfan. Time to cross. Takes a deflection. Bijev couldn't direct it on goal. Still not clear. The shot.
Late in the area, but Barmby, he still makes something out of it. Just trying to get his cross away. He's got defenders around him, and you can see he's just trying to do enough to lift the ball. But then the second phase into Farfan again. It's a good ball as he's looking for Bijev getting across the face of goal. Well defended.
Both teams still looking for the breakthrough. Frater. Kugo's touch went right to Malcolm. He drives it from distance. It's blocked by Farfan. And Bijev comes back to win it for T2. Argueta takes it right back. Argueta's shot was blocked. Granito runs onto it. Lewis.
Nice bit of calm from Lewis. Just put his foot on the ball for half a second, enough just to see what was around him.
Farfan. Bijev, good combination wide to Arboleda. Arboleda looking for an idea, and the wrong one came as it's cut off by Argueta.
Tell you what though, Jake, I'm just watching when the ball goes wide, Williams, his movement, and it's very good. And sometimes with strikers, you can fault them for perhaps being lazy, not willing to gamble. Every single time that ball is going out wide, Williams is looking to see where the space is and to drag defenders with him. I just think that's very unselfish, because otherwise, if the ball doesn't come to you, you've taken defenders away to open up an area for other players to go into. If the ball does come to you, then you're gambling, and you get your reward more often than not.
Arboleda to Bijev. Barmby couldn't get the shot off. Falls to Arboleda. Lewis. Barmby back towards Lewis. His run was cut off, and it was seen out by McFarland. And this will be the second substitution of the match for Colorado Springs, as Taesong Kim will come on for Ricardo Perez. So it's been a match that has kind of gone back and forth. First part of this match, I think, controlled by T2 in the middle. Colorado Springs with a surge, and we've seen T2 back on with the pressure last 5 or 10 minutes. Here's Kim into the match. Now Malcolm. His shot was blocked.
Just for me, as Batista continues to evolve as a player, again, that is one where he has to brush Kim aside. He's got the ball off his chest. He looks big and strong, but then he gets pushed off balance. Whereas Batista needs to get his arms out, nice and strong, good balance, and then you set your team going forward.
The USL is one of the most prominent second division professional leagues in the world, featuring some of the game's top talent and rising stars. Stay up to date with all the latest league news and information by visiting USLsoccer.com and follow them on Twitter @USL. Okugo. Barmby turns into space. Williams. Nobody there. Argueta spins out of trouble.
Again, that's good from Argueta. We just see with Kim coming in, he's going to play to the left-hand side of Argueta. Prue, he's still on that right-hand side. You've got the midfield 5 defensively, which again is giving the Switchbacks so many numbers and congesting the middle of the park.
Cashier, big switch towards Malcolm. It's over his head.
Hasn't quite been Cashier's day. Talked about him in the opening. He's scored 4 goals so far this year. He's been playing on confidence. Just hasn't quite happened for him. And I think a big reason for that is Hansen's play in the first half, the young right back for a T2. Got in his head, started changing his runs, started changing the pictures in his mind, and had the better of him.
Okugo to the chest of Williams. Handball called. Probing ball forward. Batista misread it. Malcolm couldn't get a shot off.
Wasn't a bad looking ball, just over the top. Fortunate for Batista that it was too heavy. On the other end, we haven't seen a lot of Bijev so far since he's come on. Just trying to track his movement right now, Jake, just to see where he's going to end up. Now the ball's on the far side. He's staying out of it. I think he's just having a difficult time locating the ball and getting his foot on it.
He's pressuring now defensively. Colorado Springs gets it wide to Jordan Burt. Suggs cuts inside, gives it away. Valentine wide to Barmby, touch on to Bijev. He can't get there in time. It's off of Colorado Springs. It'll be a throw for T2. Bijev turns. Valentine. Pawati catches.
Easy in the end for Puati. You can see he's just looking for that release button as soon as he gathers. He's looking for the run of his striker to be able to release.
Frater breaks the pressure of 2 to Malcolm. Kim. Now Argueta. Suggs. Push around Barmby. Kim brings it down. Prue ambitious with the left, and it's into the crowd. souvenir for a fan. Maybe not a permanent souvenir. 15 minutes to go. Where does the breakthrough come from?
Just looking down on the substitutes bench, if there's any difference makers that can come on. And there's enough still in the 11 here on the pitch right now that could have the breakthrough. I think Williams has been very active. He's been very good with his hold-up play. He's been making the runs. He just needs that chance created for him.
Bijev. The header went right to Barmby. Phillips stepped up well to keep it with Colorado Springs. Foul called against the Switchbacks.
You talk about where that goal can come from. Haven't seen a lot of Victor Arboleda in the second half either. I think in the first half, particularly the first 25 minutes, half hour, he was lively. He was getting on the ball. He was looking to run wherever he could to affect the game.
Barmby tries to find Arboleda. He rushes in with a header, but it's right to Pawati.
On the substitutes bench for T2, I've always liked the look of Blake Bodley. Just waiting for him with his own personal game individually to go up another couple of levels. About a year and a half, couple of years ago when I first saw him, I thought, wow, something special. He's very confident on the ball. He goes looking for the ball, but I'm just waiting for him to be able to reach another couple of levels.
Yet to score this year for T2. Blake Bodley did draw a penalty kick in T2's 2-0 win at Sacramento. Russell Cicerone, another attacking option on the bench right now. Michael Amick, Dylan Damraoui, Christian Herrera round out the substitutes. Farfan wins a throw.
Just been watching Jack Barmby in the last couple of minutes. Just wondering if he's holding his hamstring a little bit. The shorts are pulled up, but he's just been feeling the back of his leg. I wonder if he's starting to have tired legs as well. It's a hot day. It'll be hot there on the surface as well. You're getting into that time. You have to really push through.
In the high 60s, but sunny, and yeah, down on that turf, out in the sun, it'll feel much warmer. Farfan down the line for Arboleda. That's off Arboleda.
But they've defended well the second half. Colorado Springs been very well organized, making sure any ball going into Williams or other players trying to run off them, that's always contested.
We have our answer from a substitution perspective. It will be Dylan Damraoui coming up and Tomas Granito coming off. Fourth appearance of the season for Damraoui. Still 20 years old, Dylan Damraoui from Brussels, his second year here with T2. Just turned 20 last week, 6 days ago. Farfan to Bijev. Bijev cuts back nicely, and he's whistled for a foul. Soccer fans, Nike is an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, visit NikeSoccer.com. Frater lost it. Valentin finds Williams. Barmby cuts inside. Barnby looking for the far post. He sent it over the bar.
It's good build-up play from T2. Again, it's that slip ball from Valentine going down the side to Williams, who's willing to make the run. Barnby just going for the spectacular. He shifted it nicely onto his left peg.
Batista comes in to win the header. It's Williams. Barnby splits the line, finds Bijev. Through for Williams. Suggs got there first.
And that's a chance. It was a good initial ball from Barnby, but Bijev, if just played it a little more towards the center of the pitch, he sent Williams far too wide.
Gets through to Frater. Sends it into the box. Nobody there. Quick outlet from Hamilton. McFarland just sends it into the crowd. Big switch from Barnby. Finds Arboleda. Here comes Colorado Springs. Frater. Williams. He's been all over the place in the midfield. Wins it back. Rather, Lewis, excuse me. Lewis is the one who's been all over the place in the midfield.
He's been good. Whenever there's a foot needed to be put in, Lewis has given it.
Damraoui dispossessed. Taesong Kim. Still Kim. Gave it away. Suggs. Frater. Batista comes over to sweep it to midfield. Williams as well to keep possession.
He's got the patience. He's got the willingness to hold on to the ball. Maybe a couple extra touches he didn't need as Barnby was making a run. But still, Williams shows that he's able to allow bodies to run past him and still hang on to the ball.
Damraoui. Barnby. He's trying for the fancy. And it went right to Colorado Springs. And here come the switchbacks. Burt. Arqueta. In a foot race with the ball. Oh, he got there, kept it in play, and then got around Barnby. Ronnie Arqueta. Cashier to Suggs. Frater. Kim, time to line it up, and he sends it wide. Bijev almost got it through to Arboleda. It was cut off by Burt. Valentine steps up to win it for T2.
Good defending on both sides. Initially, Burt, he made sure that he limited that space between him and his center back partner, so ball couldn't be slipped in. But then Valentine on the other side, he got it back.
Bijev. Right to Burt. Malcolm with space to come forward. Finds Frater. Around to Kugo. Over the bar.
Well, Frater, he was all alone initially. As he finds himself just squared up against Amobia Kugo, but he doesn't see the run to the right of him. Doesn't see it continuing on and decides from distance, just that little bit of space to take it on himself, but it was never going to threaten. You just get the sense of this game fizzling out. Tired bodies, tired legs. Quality is dipping a little bit for both sides.
Williams has whistled for a foul. It certainly has. It was a really bright and energetic start, especially for T2, first 15, 20 minutes.
And he did wonder if the levels were going to maintain.
Well, Colorado Springs is going to make a sub as Masta Kasher, 2 goals last week, was really neutralized by T2 today. He comes off, and Connor Bevan's coming up.
They've done well, the fullbacks for T2. First Hansen, now Valentine in the second half, because Kasher looks as though he's got a lot to offer. It just didn't have that end pass, that end product today.
Frater. And a foul called. Well, fans, stay up to date on the latest USL news and information from around the league. Tune into USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts. Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern on Sirius XM FC, that's channel 85. Also, don't forget, Sirius XM FC will air the USL Game of the Week. Check USLsoccer.com for dates and times. Frater draws a foul. Headed down towards Frater by Farfan, and Damraoui had to get it clear. He did. Kugo the header. Ambitious from the substitute. Final minutes of this match. Can T2 find a breakthrough? Colorado Springs searching for a late one as well. Valentine towards Bijev. Now Williams. Valentine wins the throw.
Just hasn't got up to the speed of the game, Denrari, since coming on. Good positioning from Akugo. He's had a very nice, safe game today. I think he's gone about his way, nice and composed. Got away with one at the first part of the second half, where he's just lost his mark for a second. He got away with it, but apart from that, just about been flawless in the game, and he's been, as I say, nice and safe.
Bijev. Valentine. Barnby with Phillips on his back.
The T2 players lining up in the box. There's 4 of them going as far forward as they can. They were waiting for that ball to be delivered in.
There will be 2 minutes of stoppage time, minimum of 2 minutes left in this match. Barmby. Tamraoui back to Barmby. He serves it. Phillips comes forward. Strong header, only as far as Farfan. Now Arboleda. Cuts inside. He tries it from distance. It's well over the bar. He's claiming there was a deflection. He doesn't get it.
Well, it never quite looked like it. Hasn't quite looked like it in the second half either. Arboleda, so bright in the opening half hour of this match. Just kind of got away from the game. Decided to ignore the overlap of Farfan and took it on himself. He's complaining that there was a deflection to go up for a corner.
Lewis again winning into the midfield. Almost snuck it through to Bijev. Phillips stepped up well to read it. Valentin gets it back for T2. Maybe one final surge forward. Barmby turns. Taken away by Arqueta. Arqueta's done work in the midfield.
Yeah, he's had a good game for me, Jake. Just that holding center midfield position. He's been able to just protect that back 4 nicely.
Here's Farfan. Barmby top of the box. Barmby just wide. Well, he wants it back. So close to a winner.
And except for there, Arqueta just pulled out of position. Him and Kim and Barmby, he goes into that spot. You can see just the bottom of your screen. Towards the middle, Barmby just sneaks in. And he opens up well. He's just trying to cut that ball across his body into that side netting.
That's the final kick of the match. It was close at the end for Jack Barmby and T2. But neither team could find a breakthrough. First draw of the year for T2. Colorado Springs now on 13 points, temporarily all alone in 3rd place in the West. Marco Farfan almost a game-winning assist at the death. T2 will be back at Providence Park almost a month from now, 3.5 weeks. Their next home game after 2 on the road will be Sunday, June 4th, a 2 p.m. start when they take on Cascadia rivals Vancouver Whitecaps FC2. You can find tickets to that match on timbers2.com. Let's take a look at the highlights from this match. As we've been saying a lot late, it really started out energetic and bright for T2, and they almost got on the board within 4 minutes. Omar Mohammed sprung through.
Full of flair, full of flow and purpose for a T2 to start this match, and Barmby was a big reason for that. Just playing in that number 10 position in a nice little pocket. He was getting on the ball and he was getting runners coming in between the lines, and he was able just to slip that play. And as we say, his influence was growing in that 20 opening 30 minutes, just as again he combines well, just driving into the box, looking to find a runner coming in. But Puati, it was the story of at least the first half, perhaps the entire game.
16th minute, Augustine Williams getting an opportunity as Colorado Springs not doing great in the back. Puati had to pounce twice.
See Phillips, the center back, he just misjudges the ball, the path of it, but Puati is there to the rescue again as Mohammed is just looking to sneak in.
45th minute, just before halftime, Colorado Springs off the crossbar. Hamilton doesn't get it. Phillips kept out by the bar and then cleared off the line by Lewis.
Huge let off for the netminder for T2. Hamilton nowhere near the ball. He's coming out, he's flapping at thin air as Phillips, he rises above all the rest of the players, but he can't pass the crossbar.
53rd minute, Hamilton again put to the test and comes up big as tipping Frater's shot over the bar.
And Frater, he had an immediate impact coming on this second half. He spins Batista well, and he's just going through on goal. It's a nice strike by him. Perhaps at the right level that Hamilton can use the pace of the ball to help it over the bar.
A couple chances for T2 midway through the second half, causing problems down the left side. Marco Farfan's cross, punch clear by Poiti. Barmby couldn't really ever get it in a spot he wanted. T2 did come relatively close here.
This is when the game was starting to change in favor of T2 in that second half, starting to get more control of it. This is the second phase of the play we just saw, as again Farfan is looking for the run of Bijev, who is getting across, but is well defended.
And then just moments ago, just before the final whistle, T2 so close to a winner.
Again, Farfan coming down that left-hand side. He picks out Barmby well, who has just come inside. He's come away from defenders. He just can't get the direction he would have hoped for.
Well, it was Providence Health and Fitness today. You know, dabbing throughout Providence Park. It's a fitness move, I think. You can get the calorie, get the heart rate up. With that, a nice crowd here for a rare 11 a.m. kind of morning/afternoon start at Providence Park. Well, no goals on the day. T2 and Colorado Springs split the points. A scoreless draw from Providence Park for Ross Smith and our entire crew. I'm Jake Sivit. Enjoy the rest of your day. Final score, T2 0, Colorado Springs 0.